So I received a text message from Joe Biden's campaign yesterday saying that the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade and that it was my responsibility to then rush $15 to the Democratic National Party. And I thought that was absolutely outrageous because my rights should not be a fundraising point for them or a campaigning point. They have had multiple opportunities to codify Roe into law over the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they haven't done it. And if they're going to keep campaigning on this point, they should actually do something about it.
The main reason I organize with the young people is because of how passionate, driven, and eager we are for a country and a world that actually promotes freedom, equality, and humanity. For as long as there have been fights for those values, young people have been present at the front lines. During the Civil Rights Movement, it was young people sitting at those lunch counters. During the anti-Vietnam War protests, it was young people burning their draft cards. And recently, during the federal push for voting rights in 2021, it was young people hunger striking and risking their lives for democracy. Young people are present and willing to risk everything because we have the most to lose in these struggles.
What are you most worried about, Julian?
I'm most worried about what comes next because Roe versus Wade was a precedent for Obergefell versus Hodges, Loving versus Virginia, Irving versus Texas, gay marriage, interracial marriage, and privacy in the bedroom. And those, as Clarence Thomas came out yesterday, they're going to be falling like dominoes.
When we look at the people causing harm to young people and everyone else in this country, we automatically point our fingers at Republicans. And yeah, they are at the forefront of aggressive policies that seek to take away our freedom, trample on equality, and promote profit over people. But I want to bring your attention to what I might say is the second biggest threat to the values we all care about, and they're lurking at the center of our party. Establishment Democrats. The only difference between Republicans and establishment Democrats is that Republicans know how to play the long game. For the last 51 years, Republicans have been intricately planning how to thwart freedom, equality, and humanity in their hunt for power. How, you might be thinking? Well, let's summarize it in 3 points. They have seized control of the federal and Supreme Courts and state and local government, with over 30 states having Republican majorities in their state senates. They have seized control of the narrative through the media and the culture war. And finally, they have organized their money and power around a central strategy. And while all that has been happening, the establishment Democrats who set the precedent for the party have been sitting on their behinds saying, "Oh no, not again, let's fundraise." That is not a winning strategy. It's a short-term goal to power grab. And ultimately, because these issues would never impact them because of their wealth, they don't need or want to change. I think we all realized that with what happened last week during Roe v. Wade, and for many of us, it was before that.
Well, when it comes down to the primaries, which I think are coming up in the next couple months, it means that we need to get as many people to the polls as possible to vote for more progressive Democrats. We need to get the old white Democrats out of office and put in new, younger people who will actually defend the rights of women and people all over this country.
You all understand that in order to effectively challenge the right, we need a strong Democratic Party. But if the party is unwilling, that means we need to freaking change it. I want to applaud these two young women because they ended with a great point. We simply can't just vote. We need to vote strategically and get representatives who actually will fight for the shared values we believe in. We need to vote in down ballot elections, state and local government. The other day I was having a conversation with a new Unpack organizer and she made a really good point. It matters who we vote for in local and state government because eventually they run and win in federal elections. We can set the precedent for who our next generation of leaders are. It is us who will be the change makers and the promoters of freedom, equality, and humanity. I mentioned this in my last video about the two types of power in our country: organized money and organized people. Now look at this Open Secrets report on the top House fundraisers in the 2021-2022 election cycle. Republican Kevin McCarthy and establishment Democrat Nancy Pelosi sit at the top. But we also see in the 3rd and 9th positions progressive Democrats Katie Porter and AOC. I want to remind you all that it was organized people who got them there, and that allowed them to be able to get organized money. In closing, we have enough people to change the party from the inside out. We have the ability, the agency, and the fire to create a party that represents the values we all hold sacred: freedom, equality, humanity, and a shared vision of how the world can be when we all work together. The time to do it is now. Let's go. Thank you all for watching Rebel HQ. Like this video, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.